Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. As you can see, I am out here at the hangar doing some work. I've been out here for about a day, maybe a day and a half or so, working mostly on getting the tub installed first. The other big task that I'm gonna be working on while I'm out here is I want to hang the indoor units on the mini split system and get the drain lines run. So we are going with mini splits for the HVAC in our house. So we're not going to have a conventional central heat and air. Everything is going to be run off of 5 mini splits throughout the house. So that'll supply both the heating and the cooling. So that way we don't have to run any ducts through any of the floor joists for the second floor or anything like that. All we'll have to run are drain lines, refrigerant lines, and then power to the mini splits. So I do not have the special HVAC power cables that you have to hook those up. And I have not ordered my line sets yet for the refrigerant. So what we are gonna try and do is we're gonna try and get the actual indoor units hung and then route the drain lines for all the mini splits. And that'll be a big step in roughing in the HVAC. Once the mini splits are hung, I can measure kind of where they sit with where I want all of the refrigerant lines to terminate at. So I will be able to measure and order some line set for the refrigerant lines, and whatever length that I order for the line sets, along with those, you'll bundle up a power cable because the indoor units actually draw their power from the outdoor unit. So eventually I'll hook up a 40 amp breaker that will supply power to the outdoor unit, and then the outdoor unit is what gives all the power to the indoor units. But that's quite a bit of work to do. It's a tough job, so hopefully we can get through it. But like I said, let's not waste any time. Let's get to it. And these are the mini splits that we decided to go with. So we went with a 5-zone split mini split. So we got 5 indoor units, which will all be run off the same outdoor unit. So how I sized the indoor units was I looked up kind of some square footage tables to figure out how big of an indoor unit that I would need to do 2 units in the living room and the kitchen. So the plan is to have 1 unit in the living room and then 1 unit in the kitchen. And so based off of that, I went with 9,000 BTU units. And then looking at the available systems, just made the most sense to me to go ahead and get all 5 of them exactly the same. So what we ended up with is we have 5 identical indoor units that are all 9,000 BTUs. So that's a total of 45,000 BTUs altogether. And then we have the 1 outdoor unit, which is a 48,000 BTU outdoor unit. So that will be what they all tie into right there. But we are going to start by trying to hang the indoor units on the wall, figure out how we're going to route the drain lines, the refrigerant lines, and the power cables for them. And we'll come back to mounting this outside at a later date. Okay, so with that opening being framed in, we have hung the last mini split. So right now I am standing here inside of the kitchen, and what we have added is we've added this kind of half wall here that will separate the kitchen from the dining room area. And then we hung the mini split from this half wall or partial wall with an opening that we built. So if we go look at it from the other side, you can see that we have the main beam here, and then on this other side of this main beam, we have this wall with an opening framed in, and this gap in this wall gives us an area to run the drain line for the mini split. And what the plan is going to be is on either side, as you see it from the dining room, we're going to have kind of floor-to-ceiling shelves on both sides. And then we'll have something that goes all the way across the top and fills in the rest of this gap here and hides this beam. So this will be the only beam in the house that you won't see. But we have this mini split then here that is dedicated and points from the exact center of the room and will be dedicated to the kitchen. Now on the living room that we had originally hung the mini split here in this exact center of this wall in between this, this second and third beam. And this mini split is supposed to serve, the whole living room area and the whole dining room area. But after we stood back and looked at it, we decided that we think a better place to hang that mini split is going to be over here above the entrance into the hallway. So it's still fairly centered up in the whole living room, dining room area to cool and heat this whole zone. But what it also does is it moves it on this interior wall, which gives us an easier run to run the drain lines down to this sink. And we have to carve into this header, which is really a non-load bearing header because the floor joists are still straddled all the way across these two main beams horizontally. So this header is not very important structurally, whereas if we had hung it over here, we were talking about having to run a drain line and cutting all the way across this header to tie in to the shop sink drain. So we've decided to move this mini split over here. We have it hung directly on the header, just temporary. We're about to pull it off and hang sheetrock behind it. And then, of course, as you probably saw in the time lapses, we went ahead and got the mini splits hung in each of the bedrooms. So here's the mini split, will be over the door in the guest bedroom, and it will drain this way into this vanity here, the guest bedroom vanity, or the guest bathroom vanity. And then here we have the master bedroom mini split also hung above the door. That's a pretty good location for it because usually the areas above your door is just kind of dead space anyway. So it's out of the way here. And when you have a bed on this wall kind of centered up in the room, it won't blow directly on you. So we have this one here centered up above this door, and it will drain and tie in with the one coming from the living room, and the drain lines will run all the way over here to this vanity in the master. And then finally, we have the mini split hung here in the master bathroom. So this mini split will kind of serve the whole master bathroom area, Kelly's closet, and the utility room. So that's kind of what the dedicated area for this. And this one will also tie in, kind of wrap around this corner and tie into this vanity. So we're gonna have 3 mini splits draining into this drain line. And then we're gonna have the guest bedroom draining into the guest bathroom, and then we have the kitchen mini split, which will drain over here into the shop sink. And that is the plan for now. So we are going to jump back on mounting the living room mini split by going ahead and putting some sheetrock underneath it and get it rehung. Okay, so we have run our first drain line. This is the mini split in the guest bedroom. And this drain line comes out the back here. I still have to splice it together into the flexible hose, but it runs down through all these studs and will loop around and tie into this drain on this vanity. So that is the first and kind of the simplest run of all the drain lines that we have to run. So we are going to jump over here and start working on these next three all kind of together. So the one that does the living room, the one in the master bedroom, and then the one in the master bathroom are all going to end up tying into a drain line that runs all the way down into the vanity there in the master bathroom. We have finished running all of the drain lines for the mini splits. So let's start with the mini split in the guest bedroom because it's kind of the easiest, most straightforward. If we come around here and look at it from the other side, you can see the drain line comes out of this hole here, comes down. We got to tie it in together with this clear vinyl tubing, which is what we're using for our drain line. I have to go buy a splice to connect those still, but it comes through here, comes down and drains here into the guest bathroom vanity. The next one starts here in the living room. So we're going with the living room vanity here. So this drain line here wraps here, ties into this vinyl tubing, runs over here and disappears into this wall. Here we have the mini split in the master bedroom, and as it also comes out, the drain line comes throughout here and comes in through this wall, where here on this side you can see they tee together and both start following this drain line, which runs all the way through here, through all these beams, and all the way out to here. And this mini split, which is in the master bedroom, its drain line will come down here, tie in with this clear vinyl hose, run through this way, and that's what comes down and tees into the top of it here. So all three of those mini splits all tie in and they come down and drain into this vanity here in the master bathroom. And then the last mini split drain line that we got run is here in the kitchen. So from the kitchen, this hose will come through here, shoot through that hole right there in that stud, and tie in with this vinyl tubing, which goes into this wall, wraps around this way, comes over, and ties into the shop sink drain. So as of right now, all of the mini splits are hung and all of the drain line is run. What I need to do next is I need to measure the distance for each mini split to shoot up, come over all the way to this side of the house, and they'll all tie together over here somewhere to for refrigerant line and for power cables to tie into the outdoor unit. So we need to measure all those distances, and then I need to order refrigerant line and power cable before we can continue to run those for the mini splits. So that is going to finish up the mini splits for this trip out. All right, guys, once again, that is going to do it for this video. We got quite a bit done this trip out. In this video, I showed us hang the mini splits and route all the drain lines for those. I just finished pulling the measurements I need for the line set and the power cable, so I will be able to order that and get those shipped. So maybe the next time I'm out here or time after that, I'll start running the line set and the power for the mini splits. But I am out of time. I go back to work tomorrow. It is getting kind of late in the evening, and I think I am going to enjoy a nice little sit here, look out over the runway, and kind of watch the sun go down. So I appreciate you watching. Stay tuned, and I'll catch you on the next video.